What's up, you guys? It's Dr. Nina. So as promised, I wanted to get on here to do a video regarding the OET, which is the Occupational English Test that is required for all international medical graduates now. I have been getting a lot of questions regarding that exam and, the pathways and all of that stuff. Now, I will tell you that any information that I am giving you is coming directly from the ECFMG.org website because I want to make sure that the information is accurate. I definitely encourage you to go online and read through the ECFMG requirements for this upcoming 2022 match. So then you will know more about what is required, and so you won't feel like you don't have the information that you need to make sure that you can meet everything that you need for this upcoming match cycle. But basically, if you are a foreign medical student, you have to be ECFMG certified. The requirements that they have in place used to be basically you had to have passed your USMLE Step 1 exam, your USMLE Step 2 CK, and the USMLE Step 2 CS exam. Now, that was prior to 2020. When the pandemic happened, that changed. You still had to be able to complete the USMLE Step 1 and the USMLE Step 2 CK, but they did away with the USMLE Step 2 CS because, of course, everything was in person and we were no longer able to do anything in person for that time because everything was locked down. So in doing that, they had to come up with an exam that would satisfy clinical and communication skills that were required for the ECFMG certification. So what they ended up doing is basically they offered these pathways first. So the pathways were to allow the international medical graduates to meet these clinical and communication skills that would be required for the ECFMG certification. Now, when I participated in 2021 cycle, there were only 5 pathways. Now they have added an additional pathway. So there is a 6th pathway that is for this upcoming cycle. But that particular pathway is for people that have failed the Step 2 CS component 1 or more times. This is where they will be evaluated by a licensed practitioner to prove their clinical skills. That is not a pathway that I had to worry about. So we basically worried about pathway 3, 4, and 5 at my school. And our school, they just guided us and they told us to apply for pathway 4 based off whatever that criteria was for pathway 4. My school fell under that. So that is the pathway that I applied for and was approved and everything was fine. Now, if you need to know more about the pathways, again, I would encourage you to go on to the ECFMG.org website so you're able to read through because it is a lot of information. But it's very, very helpful. And it's really important that you know what you will be eligible for and what criteria you need to meet so you apply correctly. As far as the pathway is concerned, that's basically it. Now, the OET component is like the second part that was required by the ECFMG. So all of these things have a cost. So I have to make sure I put that on there. I don't know if the cost went up this year. I will just put that information somewhere here in the video. If the cost increased or just a cost in general, I'll put that information somewhere in the video or in the description. But there's definitely a cost to, this whole pathway thing and also OET as well. Now, OET is the second part. That is what is going to assess your communication skills to see if you have English language proficiency. Now, it didn't matter if you were a U.S. citizen or anything. You still had to do this OET if you were considered an international medical graduate. So trust me, we were fighting it because we were like, if we're U.S. students or U.S. people, we have our, U.S. passports and everything. Why are we taking an English exam? It was a requirement. It didn't matter. It was based off of what, you chose to go to a foreign medical school. So that is the component that you have to take to prove your English language proficiency. Now, that component, to be honest, I will say you have to apply for that as well. Oh, what's on my phone? Anyway, you have to apply for that as well. And your application this year has to be in before December 15th, 2021. Now, I think we had the same type of situation where we had to apply, have everything in by December, a certain date in December of 2020. But I definitely recommend putting your application in as soon as you can. Don't wait to the last minute, because you have to be able to schedule your exam. And what we were running into, at least my class, a lot of persons in my class were running into, we didn't have enough sites to schedule the exam because of the pandemic. And so some of us had to travel far. Some people had to fly. I mean, it was really chaotic. And sites were filling up very fast. So it was very hard to, can you go up please? Thank you. So it was very hard to schedule our exam because the sites were filling up very fast. So the earlier, the better, if you can schedule your exam. And you want to schedule that exam definitely by December, because you need to be able to get your scores back in time, which it usually takes a few weeks to get your scores back. But you have to have the exam completed before December 31st for sure. And that is to be able to get your scores back in time. I think sometime in January, you'll get your scores back, and they have to be able to upload it to ECFMG, so then ECFMG can have you certified in time so you can participate in the NRMP match cycle. So that's why it's really important. Now, as far as practice material, I will say you can go on the occupationalenglishtest.org website. And that is what I use. It's straight from OET. They have a lot of free sample tests on there that you can go through. They also offer videos that you can join and listen to people talk about how to approach the exam and what to expect from the exam. Now, I think some of those videos you have to pay for, but the cost is not that much. And in my opinion, it's worth it because I actually use that. And I even got a tutor through their website to make sure that I was going to pass this exam, right? So there are 3 components to the exam. There's a reading component. There are 4 components. Yeah, there are 4 components to the exam. There's a reading component. There is a listening component, writing, and speaking component. The speaking component, honestly, was very simple for me. But again, English is my first language, so it came very easy for me. The writing component was the hardest component. I definitely encourage people to check out that format of writing and make sure you have it down, because that was the component that was really failing a lot of people. And you have to be able to pass all those sections. The reading component was pretty easy, and the listening component was pretty easy as well. But again, English is my first language, so that's why those things came easy to me. I definitely encourage, if English is not your first language and you find yourself struggling, get a tutor. So you only have to take this exam one time and they will guide you through and help you. They do have packages on here that you can pay for to, help you participate in the classes and things like that. But there is a cost, but it's not that bad. And the classes, they typically were in the evening time because they were on a different time zone, and they were taught by people in Australia actually, and so they were in a very different time zone. So I did that, and I encourage you, if you need the help, to do that too. The test can be paper or computer. I ended up doing a paper test because I just thought it would be easier. I knew there were a lot of people that did the computer test, but they were having problems with the computer, so I just opted to do the paper test. But yeah, that's basically it. That's all you have to do. So you have to make sure that you choose your pathway, and then also complete this OET component to prove that you have English proficiency. And that is basically it that is required for ECFMG certification. I hope this video was helpful, and don't forget to like it and definitely share if it was helpful. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.